Hello, my name is Michael Gabbianelli, and welcome to another episode of Tech Talks. In today's episode, we will be discussing knots. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about ropes and why those are important to climbing. Ropes are very important to climbing, but are only useful if we know the knots to use with those to achieve the functions we want out of the rope. So today we are going to be talking about the figure 8 knot, which is a very integral knot in the climbing world. If you've ever done any climbing, you've probably seen this knot before. This is the figure 8 follow through knot. And knots are in a family, so there's different ways that you can tie this knot. So today we're going to learn how to do a figure 8 follow through knot. All you're going to need to join us on today's lesson is just a piece of rope. It doesn't have to be climbing rope. I have climbing rope, so that's what I am using. But you can use a shoelace, a piece of cordage, some jute. At this point, just to learn your knots, you can use any kind of thing you have around the house. You do want that thing to be probably about one wingspan, so your arms stretched out. You want that rope to be about that long, just so you have enough room to work and to tie more than maybe one knot each time. So today we're going to get into those knots. So here is our rope. And what we're going to do, the first step of tying that figure 8 knot, and so this is our finished product. This is what we're going to be looking for. And we're going to go through how to tie it in this green rope right here. So the first step in our figure 8 knot is we want to get a measurement. And so what that is for me is one hand outstretched and one hand on my shoulder. This measurement is the amount of rope I'm going to need to tie my knot. So right here is where I measured to. And this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start by folding the rope in half at that point I measured to. This is what we're going to call a bite. So we're going to create a bite in our rope. We're then going to take the tail end of that rope and we're going to loop it over the opposite strand of our bite and around the back. So you can see there, my rope is going over the opposite strand, around the back, and then it's going to come up through the front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull tight and dress my knot, which means kind of flatten and straighten it out. Make it look good. So there we go. That's the first part of our knot, is the figure 8 part of our knot. So you can see they call it a figure 8 because it's shaped like an 8. Once you have that, you're going to use your tail end to finish the knot. And so we're going to take our knot, and we're going to take the tail end and we're going to retrace that tail end back into the knot. And so you can see it comes in from here. This is my tail end over here. And it's going to come in and go around. I'm going to pull that through. When you're doing this, you want to make sure to leave a nice little loop or bite right at the end. We're going to bring that up and around. Then I'm going to take this end, tail end, and back through. Again, pull it nice and tight. Each time I go through the knot, I want to keep that tension on that rope so it's not too slack. So I'm almost done there. And then the last and final turn of my 8. Around and back through. And I'm going to pull that tight. When I tighten my knot, I do want to make sure that I'm pulling each rope that comes in and out of the knot independently. So I'm going to hold the knot. And I'm going to start by pulling this one, this one, this one, and this one. Nice and tight. Now that I have it nice and tight and neatly dressed, we have a figure 8 knot. There you have it. That's one figure 8 and then our original. So again, feel free to check this out at home. Get some cord out and play around with that while you're sitting at the house. Also, if you go online and search figure 8 follow-through knot in Google, you'll probably find a whole bunch of diagrams that can be very helpful when trying to learn the knot. So it's easy to get lost as you go through the process. So if you find you're getting lost, go check out one of those diagrams, and that'll help kind of keep you on track, as well as refer back to this video and you can kind of watch what I did here with my rope. So hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully you guys can practice those knots at home and get ready for the climbing season. Hope this was fun. Hope you had a good time, learned some stuff, and we'll see you next week.